All right, it sounded like for a second it wanted to be Yieldy Map Tournament. It wanted to, but no. This is Team Arena Challenge 2 Yieldy Map Tournament. We'll be back next week. But look at this, guys. It is the Protoss player from CheckSix coming out to try to knock out his opponent, get a win for his team, get some momentum going in this clan war here. It is CheckSix Perfect. And in the upper right part of the map, in the green from the team, it's GoSu, winning 2 games already in this Team League match today. It is ViBe.
Yeah, ViBe's performed really, really well. I mean, he had an incredibly long ZVZ to kick things off.
Oh, man. That was an insane game. It really went back and forth here.
And looks like Perfect, of course, is going to open up with some sort of a Forge Fast expand against his Zerg opponent. And we'll see what ViBe wants to do, if he wants to go down that 3-hatch path and very, very quick roaches. Yeah,
I can pretty much tell you with a pretty good degree of certainty that that's what ViBe's going to do. I haven't seen these games, obviously, so I don't know for sure, but he is pretty much going exclusively 3-hatch before gas in this matchup right now.
Okay.
He loves the big max roach style, you know, get maxed out on roaches around like 12 minutes or so, and then from there, you know, you kind of see what tech you need to add on. So that's what he's been doing. It's a great strategy to do. It's a little bit more difficult, I gotta say, to make that work on this map because you need to move up ramps to hit both the third and the natural, so that's going to make it a little bit more challenging to be aggressive with it. But you can crush armies very easily in the middle of this map using that type of strategy, especially with both players in cross position. So it's not going to be bad if he decides to do that.
That is all the open space in the middle of the map.
Space, yeah.
Yeah, it gives you a ton of room to maneuver, makes those force fields, any sort of colossi, really anything from a Protoss player that does that extended AoE, you know, very, very ineffective. So now, Perfect, of course, going to try and block this hatchery for as long as he can, and ViBe has the possibility of moving up to the third here behind the destructible rocks. Actually, ViBe able to just sneak that through, so Perfect messing up a little bit there.
Yeah, well, a lot of Protoss players like to put that pylon down to try to force their opponent to take their third first as their second base and kind of throw them off a little bit that way, but yeah, a little bit of miss micro from Perfect, and ViBe gets his hatch down, no problem. He is going to try to scare ViBe here with a pylon, but we'll have to see if he responds. Yeah, he's already got Lings out, so he should be just fine here.
Yeah, it looks like the Overlord has already seen it, so Perfect's going to have to stop that here in a second, unless he's going to wall himself behind the minerals, which is certainly a possibility, and it looks like that may be what he does.
He could, but you know, even if he does, it's going to be a situation where ViBe can still kind of get in there with his Zerglings and take down whatever he decides to put up. And it's a second pylon, you know, it's not even a cannon. So yeah, just trying to scare ViBe a little bit, get him to make a few more units, but looks like so far it didn't work.
Yeah, ViBe not taking the bait at all, just going right back to droning. So very aware player, very smart player, and now Perfect. Let's see what he's going to do. He's got a photon cannon coming up. Looks like he's going to decide to wall this off at the front rather than from the ramp down to the side. And we'll see here in a second. He did go Nexus first, though, important to note.
Yes, yeah, but he should be just perfectly safe here. He's got a cannon up already, so yeah, ViBe's not going to be able to get in and do any damage, but you know, he might be able to sneak an Overlord in there a little bit later. The thing you really want to watch for in this matchup is the gases at the natural expansion. You want to kind of keep an eye on the game clock, watch for those second gases. If they aren't taken at a normal timing, there's a pretty good chance that there will be some aggression then early on from the Protoss players. So I guarantee you that's where he's going to send one of his first Overlords, is to keep an eye on that.
All right, well, cybernetic score is coming up, so just a small gap in the wall now. It looks like there is already a Zealot coming out to fill that, and Perfect going ahead and chrono boosting as many probes as he can. Does definitely want to get back way ahead in overall workers.
Yeah, that's right. You usually see Protoss kind of keeping up on workers till the Zerg gets their third hatchery up and running, and then it kind of boosts up a little bit for Zerg. But Perfect getting for that +1 weapon, so we'll have to see if he decides to add on some gateways and take advantage of that. We do see some kind of 1-1 pushes once in a while as well, but you know, a lot +1 pushes are a lot more common. Looks like the Zealot is going to come out and try to do some damage.
Yeah, and I was highlighting their ViBe's just incredible map control already, just being very diligent about making sure that nothing's going to catch him off guard. There are still +1 proxy Stargate pushes that are popular to deny thirds and things like that, but ViBe just ensuring he will not be caught off guard.
Yeah, pretty much. He's going to need to deal with the Zealot. And does he have any spines in position or anything like that? Doesn't look like he does quite yet, but he should be able to take care of this with just a few lings. Such a good decision, though. I mean, a Zealot is a perfect thing to send across the map. Well, perfect thing, yeah.
You
get to scout. I didn't even mean to. I didn't even mean to. He does scout the third, and it looks like he will be able to pick off a couple Zerglings as well with that Stalker. So, you know, you might as well put the pressure you can, you know, onto your opponent.
And it looks like there is a Spine Crawler coming up now. It's just a little bit slow, but it'll hit in about 35 seconds. So, unfortunately, that poor Zergling decided to get way far ahead, tempting fate.
Oops.
And actually, we'll go ahead and take a look at this map, Pinger. Hey, it's a probe.
Yep, and it's probably going to be a forward pylon down there. There are 3 more gateways on the way. +1 is getting pretty close to being done. You can see, though, that we talked about earlier, ViBe does have an Overlord in position to look at those gases at the natural. And while there is a little bit of pressure early on, the Twilight Council and everything should mean that there will be a little while, at least, before ViBe puts a lot of pressure on his opponent.
And let's see here now if he wants to add on a couple more gateways and just go for something like a 6-gate blink all in. No, actually, it's going to be
for now,
a robotics facility coming up now. So, robot facility coming up. We do already have 1 Spine Crawler in position for ViBe. A second one was denied there for a little while. And Perfect has a little position here. I love whenever Spine Crawlers go after very, very large objects because theoretically this is all targetable. So they'll go like way off to the side to hit it sometimes.
Yeah, they just can't decide what to hit. I really like this by Perfect, actually, just kind of being annoying with these units. He will lose them eventually here, but he's able to make ViBe produce a lot of Roaches, a lot of Zerglings early on.
Yeah. Kind of a cool decision to go straight for the huge Stalker count as well. Usually it's a lot of heavy Zealot pushes to kill thirds and things like that. But, well, Perfect still trying to bounce in and do some damage now, keeping his Stalkers alive pretty well. The Spine Crawler is about to go down, but Perfect just not warping in enough units to take care of this. ViBe surrounding, though. Going to be able to get a Stalker kill before those move away and trying to surround with the Lings as well. Very nice job. All the Stalkers going to die.
Yeah, it's good to put pressure on your opponent, but I think Perfect may have overdone it just a little bit here. He was safe until speed finish, and by that point it was just a little bit too late. So now ViBe going on the offensive. We'll see if he's able to deny this third.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially with there being the destructible rocks are still up yet. Immediately canceled by Perfect. The probe goes silently into the night. He knows his time has passed.
That's right. So nice little supply lead here for our Zerg player, and he's going to be able to kind of keep his opponent on 2 bases for a while. Oh, taking a 4th as well. That's, when you deny the 3rd like that, you've got units right at their base. That's a good time to take your 4th as well. And, wasn't quite able to get in there, but he did see the Immortals, so that's going to tell him that there is a Robo out.
Yes, he did. Destructible rocks are going to go down considerably faster now that the Immortal is finished, but still, pretty significant supply advantage for ViBe. Teching as well, going up to layer and that 4th base and multiple upgrades as well. So we'll see how many Roaches he wants to produce throughout this whole process, but he is sitting on an abundance of gas right now, and actually, is he taking another base or just a macro hatch? Looks like it's just a macro hatch for now, so 4 base plus macro hatch at 11 minutes.
Yeah, and he's also going to go Spire with this as well. He's going to kind of... looks like he might be able to pick up a Zealot here. He's got to be careful. Oh, the Lings getting trapped in that base. May have been a little bit of a mistake there. The Zealot was just bait, but... Oh, you know what? That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, at the very least, he's going to bait some force fields out. But look at that, he's already killed 2 sentries. Going to be a couple more here in a second, 3. So Perfect, unfortunately, giving up 4 sentries to that group of Zerglings there.
Yep, that's right. And I think we're going to see ViBe go Mutas in this situation here. He knows he's got his opponent kind of on their back foot a little bit. And when you do that, when you're able to get that 4th up kind of free and clear like that, you can usually get out some Mutas and just kind of maintain control over the game. Yeah, 83 drones. ViBe just likes to go crazy with his drones early on in ZVP.
He's got so much gas built up as well, so now he's got this base saturated, and he is going to produce an immense amount of Mutas whenever that Spire finishes up. We do already have +3 weapons coming up for Perfect, but of course, even with seeing all those Lings, he's not seen the tech transition and still continuing to produce a lot of Immortals.
Yeah, well, I mean, the fact that there was a lot of Lings maybe tipped him off here, but unfortunately for Perfect, he's in a situation that after losing those sentries, he can't really move out on the map very much. And so now, you know, he's got to play turtley. He's got to just play defensive. If he wants to have any chance of winning this game, he really just needs to kind of sit back, get that nice big 200-200 death ball going off of 3 bases and kind of work from there.
Perfect. A little bit further and you can put down the Templar Archives. It's okay. Okay, yeah, so he already sees the Mutas now, so he already has pretty decent gateway infrastructure. I'm not sure actually how many he's sitting on. 6, 7, 10 gates now, so he already has Blink Finish, so already starting a bunch of Stalkers.
Now, this is actually kind of a nice map for Mutalisks. The bases are fairly close together, but you can kind of bounce back between the natural and the third a bunch of times. And if you do that, you can keep their units, you know, a little bit off guard, a little bit out of position, tax their multitasking quite a bit. So we're going to see him try it out. Although I got to say, Perfect is in a pretty good situation here. He's got enough sentries that he can throw some Guardian Shields. He's got enough gateways that he can make a lot of Stalkers as well.
He's his opponent, though, ViBe, already up to 15 Mutas for now.
Oh, man.
Perfect.
He's just going to go for it, I think.
Yeah, Perfect is a pretty stout defense up at the front for those Roaches. It's mostly the Mutas he has to worry about. And actually, the Roaches are just going to cycle off to the left here to another base. There's quite a few Blink Stalkers there as well. This Forge may go down, though, but for +3, it was just about finished. So big setback for Perfect.
Yeah, and this is actually something that ViBe and I talked about quite a bit last night when we were talking about ZVP. He loves pressuring with Mutas and then pressuring with Roaches and Lings at another place in his opponent's base here. And you can see he's coming in from the back with the Mutas now as well, while he's keeping Perfect occupied in the front. And look at this, no cannons at all. Perfect needing to pull his Stalkers back.
Yeah, he does indeed. So pulling a little bit away from the defense, but I've got to say, Perfect actually has this pretty well in hand. He is going to lose a couple of Immortals, but the vast majority of the Roaches are going to die up at the front. Oh, now we've got the Mutas coming in, and they're actually going to start taking out some of the Stalkers as well, but unfortunately that just resulted in the loss of a Muta and most of the health on a couple more.
Yeah, ViBe lost quite a bit here, but he's making a lot more Roaches.
Oh,
so
yeah.
He's still not in terrible position. He's still about 70 supply ahead, but supply in ZVP isn't usually too indicative of anything significant a lot of times, unless it's like 100 supply ahead. So Perfect is still in a pretty good spot here. ViBe, though, going for a pretty quick lair. I think he's going to try to get Broodlords out ASAP here.
All right, well, here come the Blink Stalkers, just sitting on +2 weapons again because the weapons did go down. Don't believe there's any sentries with this as well, so no Guardian Shields, no Force Fields to zone, just all pure Blink Stalkers for now. Finally, the sentries making their way up from the left, but not enough energy for Guardian Shields.
Yep, that's right. ViBe trying to take advantage of the fact that Perfect didn't have a lot of sentries early on. When they don't, you can basically just make tons of Roaches and then just get right on top of the Blink Stalkers. Kind of negate that a little bit here. Still trying to just go Muta-Roach at this point.
And let's see here, though, as, adding in a few more Mutas now. He's got 6 on the field. He's got another 4 coming up. So a handful of Mutas, but he is about maxed as well. So we'll have to wait till a little bit of supply gets freed up before he makes any more units.
All right. Taking down the pylon at the ramp. Oh, he even cancels the warp in. Ouch. And now this is getting a little bit worrisome for Perfect. Yeah, he's about 90 supply down here. Doesn't really have any adequate defense, unfortunately, at his bases besides the Blink Stalkers. And whenever those Blink Stalkers move, ViBe can just start to pressure here.
And ViBe is going to pressure, just breaking a couple of cracks in that wall so he can come back with stronger engagements later on, leading a lot of units out of position. Now Perfect is going to blink up, and he will eventually be able to take these out, but then ViBe goes right through the back. Yeah, burrowing out of the range of those units as well, depowering a couple of gateways, taking out the sentries up at the front, and all the while taking 2 more bases and remaxing.
And ViBe still kind of harassing with the Roaches here too. Perfect doing a pretty decent job of bouncing around, defending what needs defending here. Looks like he's going to kill off this group of Roaches here, but there are more Roaches in the main. The Nexus is getting, well, not targeted down, but it is eventually going down here, I guess.
Yeah, but, ViBe he can kill whatever he wants right now because he is in a really good spot. In fact, he was gifting Perfect that for a little while, decided to pull his Roaches off of the Nexus. Let's see here, though, as Greater Spire just finishing up. 7 Corruptors getting done as well, so Broodlords are going to be here very, very soon. Yep,
that's right, getting the Infestor upgrade as well, kind of switching tech here. ViBe does need to be a little bit careful that he doesn't lose too many units here. He is slightly more vulnerable right now because he is doing that tech switch, but he's going to have the money for a lot of Broodlords here very shortly.
Yes, he is, especially once he gets gas mining going at bases 5 and 6, already starting those extractors now. A few more Roaches trying to come through the front and just continue to pin Perfect down for a little while, and pin him down he will. Even going to snag a few more worker kills.
Yep, that's right. So right now Roach is kind of being a bit disposable at this point. He's doing everything he can to continue to hinder the economy of his opponent. 7 Broodlords on the way, plenty of Infestors, +3 Carapace on their way, and ViBe is just going to have an excellent Broodlord Infestor army here in just a moment.
Yeah, look, the Muta's going through yet more workers. 46 have been killed this game. A bunch of Broodlords are already out. There they are. Fly to the Valkyries
Wow.
right there.
ViBe is looking pretty unstoppable here in this game. I don't think Perfect can really come back at this point unless there's like a really, really bad engagement for ViBe.
Yeah, even then, just the sheer remaxing might and the
that's a lot
spine
of
crawler
spines, yeah.
wall. Yes, Pinger, we see it. Thank you.
Spine Forest.
Yes. Oh, actually kidding out of there before the... well,
Look at this.
Those force fields more designed to zone out the units from the Nexus.
ViBe actually managed to force some Zealots as well.
Yep, and those Zealots do absolutely nothing against air units. They can't swing their swords in the air, unfortunately.
Nope, can't like shoot laser beams or anything like that
Nope.
either, unfortunately for them.
Let's see here. So, Broodlord's going to start trudging forward slowly but surely. Roaches are pretty well upgraded, sitting on 2 Carapace, plus 3 Carapace actually on the way here very soon as well. It's even going to make the Broodlings pretty hardy. And of course, plus 1 air attacks is finished, so that Broodling Strike going to be very, very powerful.
Yeah, ViBe's one of the Zerg players out there that likes to prioritize Carapace in this matchup. You see a lot of Zergs going for plus 2 missiles really, really quickly, but he likes to get his Carapace upgrades.
All right, well, it's going to be a big showdown here, a very large engagement. We'll see if Perfect has enough to hold on here as the Broodlord's starting to siege up those units as well. Yeah, Fungal's pinning down a ton of units, and ViBe is just steamrolling this force.
GG,
there's
well
the GG. ViBe, man, has taken 3 games in a row now.